Welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod and another episode of Lightspeed. For those walks with your Loth cats at home, or those speeder trips to the grocery store, we got you covered when it comes to Lightspeed news. These are the Star Wars headlines that interest all of us, and we hope they interest you as we go through the latest ones today. So first up, let's just get it out of the way. Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view has launched. This is a book written up by 40 different authors from 40 different points of view from background characters throughout Return of the Jedi. This book is launched to celebrate the 40 years of Return of the Jedi. And it's cool. It's very cool. It follows the series of the other certain point of view books, which previously came out for A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. And, if you love background characters and kind of their perspective on the events that transpire through the movie that they're featured in, then this book is for you. Most excited that I am for Mike Shen's Brotherhood short story, getting into the Anakin transpiring into the Force after his death. That is on my list of short stories to skip ahead and read right when I open the book. And this book is on shelves now, so you can check that out at whatever bookstore you have near your place, or grab the ebook on your Kindle or Kobo or whatever you use. This is going to be a good one for any Return of the Jedi fan, any Star Wars fan who likes short stories or background characters, or just anyone who's wanting to pick up a Star Wars book for the first time and maybe just read a couple short stories, a couple chapters, and there's no consequence for reading a few of them and then putting it down and never touching it again. I mean, there are 40 different short stories that just take place within the continuity of the movie. So that's pretty cool stuff. So definitely check that out. In other news, we do have a very exciting launch from Orbitkey. The newest wave of Star Wars products from them feature 3 new products: an Ahsoka Tano key organizer, a clip mini, which features the Mandalorian sigil, which they're calling the Mandalorian. But any fans of Boba Fett will find appreciation here as well with the Mythosaur skull in the center point. And compared to the key organizer, I got them right in front of me here. They come in these nice slip box cases. These slip boxes, shall I say? And they're made of this leather material. I think it is actually leather. They fit 2 to 7 keys, and we've talked about these a lot. If you're a longtime listener of Star Wars Escape Pod, you kind of know the drill. They all come with a very collectible character card inside, with a bit of a story about the character that you just purchased, and everyone is themed of a character. So like the Ahsoka Tano one has her white lightsabers on the front, which has got a nice black finish on it. It's got blue stitching, and on the inside is her Montrails printed on the inside. The edges have like her orange skin color. It's so cool. This is probably the most detailed character-inspired one I've seen yet. We've got some pretty exciting ones in the past, but this one has got to be one of the best ones I've seen so far. On the inside, it says in Aurebesh, Ahsoka Tano, her name, and above it is a quote: "I am no Jedi." And to the right of that is her famous head tattoo, or the tattoo that you see on her forehead. And I just gotta say, these are just so cool. If you hate your keys jingling around your pocket or whatever, definitely check these out. Link is in the description below. The clip mini is basically a carabiner with a very easy way to get your keys on a D-ring that hangs below. So you will have your keys jangling around on this one, but it's a very nice way to get keys on a key ring in the first place. This thing is not going to break your nails like most key rings do. It's got a really nice way to sort of unhook it and slot your keys in there. And pictures are on their website. Definitely go check that out. The final one is very similar to the Clip Mini, but it has Grogu all over it. So any fans of Grogu will appreciate that. You can find pictures and videos of these things all over Orbitkey's website and their social media platforms. So if any of this interests you at all, definitely go follow them on Twitter and Instagram using the handle @Orbitkey. And I believe they're on Threads as well. But that is their latest series. It's sort of like an Ahsoka Tano Mandalorian sort of mini release. And, I love these things. I'm looking forward to seeing more of what they do in the future. And, a big congrats to Orbitkey for launching the latest wave. The end credits of Ahsoka have been killing it with Kevin Kiner's latest theme, which is just dropped on Spotify. You can listen to it. I'm going to play it right now, actually. Here we go. So you can listen to it right now on Spotify and just keep it on repeat. I mean, this theme is one of the best I've ever heard from Kevin Kiner. Kevin Kiner is the composer for Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, Tales of the Jedi, The Bad Batch. I mean, Kevin Kiner's done just about every animated Star Wars series in the book when it comes to the music. And Ahsoka has, up until The Mandalorian, been an animated character. So, to see the musical journey for her character cross over into live action along with the character itself is super cool. And, you hear, look at it, listen to that. There's the Rebels theme right there. You've got the Ahsoka, Ezra, sort of Rebels theme tied in. You hear the clone fanfare. You hear her theme from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's absolutely a masterpiece. So you can listen to that right now on Spotify. And I'm just going to continue playing this while I talk more about Ahsoka. On StarWars.com, the last piece of news here, second last piece of news here, sorry. We have a article from Kristen Baver. So thank you, Kristen, for providing us with the 10 essential Ahsoka Tano episodes list. Give or take, there's a few arcs in here as well. But we all love the character. We love Ahsoka. And we know that maybe some of you out there who have been listening to Star Wars Escape Pod don't have the time to watch 11 seasons of animated series or whatnot. I mean, we've been putting out after shows for Star Wars Rebels. We are 2 episodes away, podcast episodes away from finishing that sub-series. So I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of Rebels talk lately, and we get it. Maybe you're just ignoring all those episodes because you just don't have the time to join us. For those of you who have joined us, thank you so much. I mean, it's just an absolute honor to have you stuck with us all the way. And for those of you who haven't had the time, we apologize. I know it's a lot of TV. So here are 10 essential Ahsoka Tano episodes that you can watch right now on Disney Plus while you're waiting between the days of Ahsoka Disney Plus release episodes. How great is that? So if you love the character and you don't want to sit there and watch hours upon hours of TV, here are 10 essential episodes that you can watch to dive into Ahsoka a little bit more. Life and Death from Tales of the Jedi. 2 words, Baby Ahsoka origin story. It's amazing. Definitely check that out. That's number 1 on the list. Number 2 is called Storm over Ryloth. This is an episode where Ahsoka learns a little bit more being Anakin's apprentice. It's her first time commanding a squadron, which ends in failure. Valuable lessons shape her into the leader that she will become. This is found in Season 1 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Lightsaber Lost. This is an episode from Season 2 of The Clone Wars, and some might say that Jedi's lightsaber is their life. But when Ahsoka loses her weapon to a thief, she gets help from a Jedi who is about as different from herself as Anakin Skywalker. And, it's Tara Sinube. He's a character that showed up as a cameo in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a wise, patient, kind, calm, sort of measured way of thinking Jedi, and quite an opposite to sort of Ahsoka's high energy, I guess. So that's a great episode as well to check out. Heroes on Both Sides. This was an episode found in the Clone Wars as well, Season 3. And Padme teaches Ahsoka the ways of sort of the politics behind the war. And we meet a number of new characters. This was the first time we saw her in a new outfit, I believe, in the Clone Wars. So we see her age up a little bit. And it's also about her friendship with Padme Amidala. The Altar of Mortis from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. This was also a Season 3 episode, although I highly recommend watching the entire Mortis trilogy. The whole arc was a fascinating look at the Force and the core of the Jedi trio from the Clone Wars, which is Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka, facing off against the Anchorites, which are incredibly powerful Force beings that live on a mystical world called Mortis, and they are called the Father, the Daughter, and the Son, which are physical embodiments of the light, the dark, and the balance of the Force. This episode in particular gives us a glimpse at an Ahsoka that's consumed by darkness, and it was an amazing story to check out. Also a very influential moment in her life. Padawan Lost. This is a Star Wars: The Clone Wars episode from Season 4, if I'm not mistaken. Ahsoka is abducted during a battle hunted for Trandoshan sport. We see the character's vulnerability in a new way that we've never seen before, captured without her lightsaber. And Ahsoka is not just a Jedi, but a leader. So we see her using all the skills that Anakin has taught her over the years to take herself into a survival mode and also have the ability to lead others as well. So that was a great episode. The Wrong Jedi. In a shocking decision, Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order in the season 5 finale. This was a super influential moment as well in the character's life when she's framed for a murder for a bombing at the Jedi Temple. And, I highly recommend this one as well. It's an influential point in Ahsoka's life as well as Anakin's. Number 8 on the list is the Siege of Mandalore story arc from season 7 of the Clone Wars. And it's an absolute masterpiece. From battling to save Mandalore from Maul, battling Maul as well, getting caught up in Order 66 and fighting to save her friend Rex, while also saving her own life. It turns out that leaving the Jedi doesn't automatically take you off Palpatine's hit list. This was an amazing story arc, and it's a must-see. Number 9 is called Twilight of the Apprentice. These were 2 episodes from the Star Wars Rebels Season 2 finale, the final 2 episodes in Season 2, and was probably one of the most important moments in her life as well, when she faces her old master, Anakin Skywalker, in battle. While he is, of course, at this point in time, no longer Anakin, but Darth Vader. So, very important moment, which sets her on the path ahead, and a path that we carry on into The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, the show that we've been enjoying for a week now. Number 10 on the list is called The Jedi, which was an episode from season 2 of The Mandalorian. And if you have no time for anything else before Ahsoka and you haven't seen The Mandalorian either, watching or rewatching this episode from The Mandalorian is an excellent way to get introduced to Ahsoka Tano in live action. So this was a great entry point. It serves as a soft launch for her own task ahead, which is to find Grand Admiral Thrawn. And we come to know a little bit more about that in the Ahsoka show, of course. This is a thread that's been going on since the animated series Star Wars Rebels. But if you have no time to watch the entire Star Wars Rebels series or the Clone Wars or whatever, these episodes that I just listed will be in the description of this podcast episode and serve as a great entry point for the character, as well as some nice in-between episodes that you can watch while you wait for episode 4 of Ahsoka. By the time this podcast drops, episode 3 will have been out. I can't believe I didn't start with that news, but recording these in advance tends to get a little tricky. So episode 4 will be the halfway point in the series, I believe. I think there's 8 episodes in Ahsoka, and we're all looking forward to the next week's episode. This past week was probably an absolute blast, and although I can't say much about it, having not seen it yet, it's probably going to be awesome. So look for those Ahsoka after shows on the podcast. And, the final piece of news that I got for you guys is the album artwork. So now we've been rolling out updated album artwork. Depending on the app that you're using, you might see that our logo has changed depending on the episode that you're playing. A non-sub-series episode will have our standard logo. But if you're listening to an after show or review for Ahsoka or Rebels Talk, for instance, or Andor, or The Bad Batch, or even this Lightspeed news episode will have a unique artwork to the episode. So if you're scrolling Spotify, it's going to be a little easier to pinpoint which episodes are which without having to read all of the titles. And we have a bit more news in the future when it comes to producing a bit more content with these logos. A friend of ours has a sticker company, and we're about to set up a bit of a collaboration with him as well. So stay tuned for news on that. And with that being said, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for tuning into the Lightspeed episode this week. We'll see you in another time or the next time on Star Wars Escape Pod.